Another coach bites the dust. Mm, mm, mm. Another coach bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one down. Another one bites the dust. When will Aaron Glenn be next? Another one bites the dust. Boy Green meets Wudi.
Can you guys help us get a jet chant here? Yeah, going.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Come on in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go!
J-E-T-S! Jet! Let's go! J-E-T-S! Jet! Let's go! There you go, Wudi!
Third Party Thursday.
Chris joining us here on the program with a capital P here on the program.
Jake Asman, come on down. How you doing, good sir?
Wow, what an intro. I mean, the boy Green is known for having the intro, but Wudi, that was unreal, man. Thanks for the kind words, son.
We are men of many names.
My favorite Austrian Jets fan right there, baby.
Boy Green
Meets Wudi. Welcome to another episode of Boy Green Meets Wudi. Hope you liked the karaoke in the beginning. This is your boy, feeling better. We are Wudi, rocking everywhere. Who's throwing it back? He is the boy who became king, none other than Mr. Paul Esden Jr., and we know he's doing well. He's always happy. Happy-go-lucky son of a bitch over there. But for me, all right, just hearing all of this dysfunction, like my guy Hep said, that's all it is dysfunction. It is ineptitude. That's another word I'm seeing in the comments. You guys are hitting the nail on the head. This is the biggest dumpster fire organization in the world. It is all Aaron Glenn's fault. But all right, we're gonna hear from his biggest fan, his biggest truther, on why this has nothing to do with Aaron Glenn, and it's all Tanner's fault. And good riddance. Nah. Hey. Goodbye. I'll pass the mic.
All right. Well, before I get to any of that, I just uploaded it as a YouTube short, so some of you may see it in that form or fashion. But our boy Jim CBW is always on it. Breaking news. Not only is AG obviously looking for an OC, which is the breaking news in which this show is coming off of, but he's also looking for a defensive coordinator on top of an offensive coordinator. And it seemed like Wink was the favorite for a long time, and headed into the weekend, he flew up to New York, and it all seemed like it was just a matter of signing on the dotted line. And then a day goes by, 2 days go by, 3 days go by. We're like, wait a second here. Has a new name entered the octagon? And I was hoping it'd be Jim Leonhard. I'm like, oh, my boy, Jim Leonhard. But Adam Schefter gave this update minutes before our show. Jim Leonhard is expected to be, quote, a leading candidate to become the next defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills. The Bills just promoted Joe Brady, who was the OC. He replaces Sean McDermott, so he's the head coach. And they are moving and grooving, which would seem to indicate he's putting his staff together. So that is devastating news for the Jets, for Jim to come back to the division, no less. That'd be a painful reality. He's a really smart guy. So, there's a lot of negative news going on right now. So why not throw a cherry on top of that pie? Real swift kick in the loins. And that brings us to Tanner Engstrand. I'll tell you on the dysfunction stuff, because that's where we can start. No, it doesn't look great that old Aaron Glenn has changed out two of his three coordinators by firing, and I've been seeing it dressed in a lot of ways: mutual parting of ways, this, that, or the other. It's a firing, folks. It's a firing, and for that to happen basically a month after the Jet season is over, that doesn't look great. It doesn't. It's hard to defend. Now, the fact of the matter is, it was being dressed up whatever way. Like, the recent reporting suggested Tanner was not going to be the play caller. So essentially, regardless of this recent news today that we're going to talk about, like, he was going to have two new play callers, one on defense and one on offense. And now Tanner gets run out of the door, and this just stokes the flames of AG and dysfunction land and Chris Banjo being the sole survivor. Shout out to Zach Rosenblatt for that funny Survivor reference. I appreciate that. He's the last coordinator standing. But yeah, that's a lot of dysfunction, Woody. And this is not going to help in the Jet search. So the search immediately starts for an offensive coordinator job. And so we got a lot to get into, Woody. So we're doing a lot of talking. I want to throw this up first. The Rooney Rule, to explain now what does this mean for the Jets, because it appeared the Jets' plan 48 hours ago was Tanner stays on as the OC, but he's not the play caller anymore, and they bring in another guy. If the Jets did that, there are different rules, different Rooney rules for like a senior level assistant versus an offensive coordinator. Let's throw this up on the bingo card, Woody, because there's a lot to get into. This is the new updated Rooney Rule that exists. For a coordinator position, NFL teams must interview at least 2 minorities and or women for all coordinator positions. Again, Tanner was set to stay, so this rule wouldn't have been the same. You see that on bullet point number 3. Clubs must interview at least 1 diverse candidate for a quarterback coach or senior level position. That's what would have happened here for another hiring. So now that that's removed, there's just more stringent rules. And it's not about that for me of like who the person is, man, woman, this skin color, this skin color. This now means that the Jets are starting from ground zero with Tanner being fired today. They have to now go through that full process for the Rooney Rule, Woody. So I saw you were getting tagged in on Twitter, and so was I right before the show. So that's a piece of the puzzle we should sort of just address off the top rope.
Yeah, sorry, guys, keep the comments coming. Y'all cracking me up in there. A lot of use of that word inept. Which is very fair, extremely fair. In terms of this, what we're looking at, right, what you just beautifully explained, Boy Green.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like an unnecessary step backwards. Like you said, they did already talk about, somebody coming for the play caller. I was cool with that, maybe, Tanner can be passing game coordinator. One of these coordinators, they work together for the game planning. And again, to your point, there would be less legwork in order to make that happen. So whatever happened today, where now all of a sudden they just, pulled the plug entirely, Tanner's gone, and now we're gonna, jump through these hoops to bring in somebody else. I feel like that's an alarming sign. That means that something had to have gone poorly. Something went worse than what it was in order for this to deteriorate like this. So, I mean, I've been trying to tell you guys for a long time that this shit stank, and like the fumes are just unbearable right now. And I don't know how the AG Truthing Nation is standing up. I see Indies in the chat. Let us know. I know let me know, man. Let me know how you still defending this you can't even call it a regime because he fired everybody. It's just Aaron Glenn and the rotating people hasn't fired yet. It's crazy.
It is. There's a lot of reasons why this will be a difficult position to fill. One, a lot of these other people have been fired. So, like, could I be next? New guy comes in. Could Aaron Glenn be next? Would mean I'm out. Whoever this person is that they would hire. So that's a bad sign. And I have some other bad signs here, which aren't good. Rich Zamini highlighted on social media, the Jets are set to have a new play caller because Tanner's fired, right? So he's gone. Whoever this new guy is will be the 12th different play caller the Jets have had in 16 years. Think about that, folks. That someone's going to know this statistic and be like, oh, dear Lord. Like, wow, they can't hold that down. And if I'm the next guy or gal and I say, am I the one? Am I the chosen one to end this? And here's another one. This is Zach Rosenblatt. This is the list of guys. Okay, let's go through the names. Tanner Engstrand, 2025. 2024, Nathaniel Hackett at first, and then Todd Downing. 2023, Hackett. 2022, Mike LaFleur. 2021, Mike LaFleur. 2020, Dow Logans. 2019, Dow Logans. 2018, Jeremy Bates. 2017, John Morton. 2016, Chan Gailey. 2015, Chan Gailey. 2014, Marty Morningweg. 2013, Marty Morningweg. 2012, Tony Sperano. And then, as you see, it's written in the caption, the last play caller to last more than 2 seasons is Brian Schottenheimer. And I don't have the clips on my Twitter if you guys want to go watch it. But Wudi, ahead of the Jets-Cowboys game, which we did a tailgate for, of course, I'm like, oh, let me listen to Brian Schottenheimer's presser. Let's see if he gets asked any Jet questions. You know, it's his whole team. He was there for a while. Is he going to be asked about it? And he was. And he brought up, he said, you know what's funny? I was there for 6 seasons. I'm pretty sure I'm the longest tenured Jets offensive coordinator since the mid-70s. He just randomly brought that up. He just randomly had that stat somewhere in his head. And I'm like, geez, hello. So, yeah, long story short, there is a lot of negative things here. AG's job security, the generic job security in general of whoever the hell is the offensive coordinator. It's like Final Destination. Whoever gets hired is like, oh, boy. I got to start looking where I walk down streets and make sure something tragic doesn't happen to me because this is difficult. Now, I'm only going to throw this comment up for a brief period of time. I see Jetpack 615 saying Aaron Glenn might be a terrorist. I mean, whoa. It's we're getting a little aggressive here.
Might be. I've already been trying to, let the authorities know. I don't know if we might be. There is no argument here. I'm not gonna say the same 3 words that I've been saying in the past, OGL. But shout out to my guy Rory, aka Jet News. I mean,
He's
come on now.
Right now, he's got his priorities straight.
Hey, yo, that's a good kid. That's right there. That's what I'm talking about. Doing all the right things, doing the exact opposite of what Aaron Glenn was doing. And yeah, we are here to say fire Glenn. That's what needed to happen. Y'all refused, and now we getting worse and worse. Like, why are you excited to play this game? Like, what is this? What are we doing right now? This tearing apart our staff. You got no good or I guess I know we're going to talk specifically OC, options in the wings. Like, this is, I really have to say, and I know you thought it was hyperbole when somebody said it, but I'm saying it for myself. Like, in terms of looking forward at the Jets and being like, oh, I have faith in this team. This is definitely the lowest. I mean, we need to rid ourselves of Aaron Glenn before I can appropriately, appreciate a potential winning anything out of this team.
I had a candid moment. You'll remember when it was. I don't know. Somewhere in the last 2 or 3 weeks of our shows, and I told you that, wow, it's really hard to just sort of exist with all the negativity that, I do a daily Jet show every single day, at least once. Today, we're doing it twice. I'm doing a lot more YouTube shorts recently, so I'm constantly in the comments. So I'm seeing what people are saying all the time. I write articles. I just got a Tanner Engstrand breaking news piece. That's in the YouTube description down below. So, like, I write 3 or 4 articles every day. So I'm immersed in Jets. I'm wearing Jets right now. Every part of my life is Jets. So it was difficult 2 or 3 weeks ago or a week ago, whatever it was. Like, damn, everyone's screaming, fire Glenn, an idiot. We're doomed, all this stuff. Like, man, how does it not get to you? Even me, the most optimistic Jets fan on the planet, self-proclaimed. Like, that is just, it's been weighing on my mind. And then this happens where it just, and I go back to the term I used earlier in the show, stoke the flames, right? So fire Glenn. That started getting quieter. It was still loud, but quieter because, like, other things are happening. Oh, Senior Bowl, distraction. Oh, this. And then, Scott Turner, who was the Jets' senior offensive analyst and passing game coordinator, he responded to someone on Twitter who said, I hate the Jets. He said, me too. Okay. Well, thank you, Scott. So just the culture. Now today, Tanner Engstrand fired. What an idiot. Oh, look at all the other coaches that he fired last week. Oh, the timing of that questionable. So, man, it is hard to breathe with this amount of heat that is out there. And as someone who, again, swims in Jets content every single day, man, it is suffocating.
Yeah. But what would be a breath of fresh air? Do you know what would give you that breath back, Boy Green?
Please, hook me up. What?
It is to fire Aaron. That is in suffocation. He has completely destroyed the franchise. And again, it might sound like hyperbole, but look around. Look around. We got television talking about Dante Moore. Save yourself. Right? We got guys talking about, this is the worst franchise. We don't even have the number one overall pick. Right? The Raiders, for all intents and purposes, were, worse than us. Yeah. And yet they are not getting, they do not get that public perception. Why is it? Because we are the bottom of the barrel, and that's not going to change until we get a respectable coach. We just went through a period, one of the deepest coaching periods of all time. Even if we fired AG right now, we still can get an upgrade in head coaches. A lot of them. I mean, I think so. Yeah, he is first of all, just to make it crystal clear.
Okay.
If you fire Aaron Glenn right now and make Jim Leonard the head coach, that's just an upgrade because Aaron Glenn sucks that much. But if we're talking about
repeat that one more time. Say it one more time.
If you fire Aaron Glenn and make Jim Leonard your boy, that is looking at the DC job, the head coach, that's a win because no one has been as historically bad as Aaron Glenn, which a lot of you guys aren't understanding. But now if we're talking about like higher ceiling guys, and stuff like that, my guy Cliff Kingsbury, he's still around. My boy's still floating around. There's still plenty of guys floating around there that you can give this job to.
Hey, so before we start making new jobs, I think enough are available on One Jets Drive. Thank you, Wudi. So what about some replacement plans here? So, okay, Tanner's out. So now that the awkwardness of, hey, we want you to stay, but demoted. Don't want you calling plays if that's cool with you. And it seemed like initially that was cool with Tanner. It's like, you know what? Hell no. I don't want to be this demoted guy. Like either let me call players or let me out. And he's out. They're speaking with Frank Reich. And that's a guy. You mentioned your guy, Cliff. Now it's less awkward from the standpoint of, so there's good and bad here. The bad is we're so late we're in January 27th. We're competing with all these other teams that are hiring coordinators. And some have been looking for weeks. Some fired their offense coordinator as soon as the season was over. So they've been looking for an OC for 3 weeks. We are just now looking for an OC. Now, technically, we're looking for offensive pieces, but like quietly behind the scenes of this role, that role. Now it's more straight up. The problem is you're just so late in the game now that and all the other stuff. Oh, yeah, we don't have a quarterback short term. We don't have a quarterback long term. We have no direct path to get a quarterback. So the job appears to be incredibly unattractive. So this is going to be a difficult challenge here. But let's talk about potential solutions at OC. Wudi, are you a Frank Reich guy? Huh?
I didn't have any issue when I heard of his name.
So the price is Reich.
You've been sitting on that one, huh?
Actually, that one just sort of hit me. I'm like, ooh, I got to try to work that into the conversation. Yeah, wow. I didn't think about it. I'm like, ooh, let me, and then just hit me. I'm like, ooh, that's a good one.
Pow. For the advisor thing, senior advisor role, he is somebody with a lot of experience. And as a former player himself, I think that always is cool. So I was a fan of that. To now say OC, designing the offense, drawing up a playbook and all that type of stuff, that might be too much. That might be too much for my guy. I mean, he hasn't quite been successful in the NFL in a little bit, kind of like the Steve Wilkes situation of his resume is solid. He's done a lot of things in this league, but recently, and their most recent stops are kind of the same places, Carolina. So if that's the choice, I wouldn't be surprised. This would just be more reason to sim on this year and just get ready for when AG's gone in 2027.
Let's get to some comments here. Wow, it is lighting up. I see a ton of activity on the Take Flight Talk channel. So thank you for all that action. That's great. Pop says, preach, Wudi, exercise the Aaron Glenn derangement syndrome from Boy Green, and says, proud of you, son. He never said that to me in my life. So great to see that mentioned for the first time on the show, but for a different son. All right, I'll unpack that with my therapist next week. But I see Mac with the important question: what can the Jets do to turn the ship around? We've been holding on to the rope for AG. Come on now, how can we turn this ship around? How do we turn this around, Wudi?
Literally, step one is fire the bum.
Do you think there's any chance that happens right now or anywhere in this immediacy?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, I would like to. What?
I said that was a long pause. You said no, but that was a long pause.
Yeah, well, because things are getting worse. Like there's not a lot to say. Like if you're the biggest AG fan, aka your name is Paul Esden Jr., and like you're like, yo, he's about to do everything, he's turning everything around. Like, what do you have? Like, you can't stand on the Dan Campbell thing. All right, this is nothing like Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell didn't, delete his whole staff. Like what they actually built in year one, they didn't it actually, you saw during the season in December, them beat playoff teams, and then boom, year two, they carried that momentum into a successful year two. That is not at all what happened for Aaron Glenn, and he got rid of everybody. Like even the things that they did in year one, like Garrett Wilson, who was here, he was here year one, did a full offseason program. He's about to do something different. He's like words, the terminology is not even going to be the same from year one to year two. There's nothing from year one that he is going off to build from year two. This is just a second year one for Aaron Glenn, if you're asking me. So it's all a waste of time. That's how I feel. It's a waste of time. And if Woody realized that, I was expecting him to get rid of Aaron Glenn before. But like now that you said, okay, let's do year two, and the team is decreasing in size. It's not increasing. You haven't found a defensive coordinator. You've been looking for one. You have not found one. And you losing offensive coordinators. Like that should be a clear red flag. So how do we turn this team around? Get rid of the buffoon that's just running around with like a chicken with his head cut off, and get a respectable name in here as a head coach. Somebody said before, I wanted to comment, but there's actually been so much engagement on both channels.
Yes, thank you.
To keep up. That somebody said, oh, the Jets, have stunk for years, but somehow AG ruined the team. Obviously, AG is not the catalyst for this playoff drought. But when I say that this is the lowest point, Saleh was getting free agents in the door. Like DJ Reed only came here because he liked playing with Saleh. Like there were players like that, there were coaches like that. Even with this dude, and I don't even want to say anything positive about him, but like Adam Gase will come in. AG, he cannot recruit a coach right now. All right, players, we got very few players doing anything. That's what I mean. That you guys can talk about cap space all you want, but that doesn't mean anything if we got nobody to pay or nobody who wants to play. So the perception of this team, despite whatever you want to say, this team could have been worse here or worse there or whatever. The perception of this team is at the lowest it's ever been, and that, yes, is 100% Aaron Glenn's fault. So, how do we turn it around? We got to get rid of him. Until then, we just wasting time. We're simming, and just wasting time.
Okay, so you didn't prepare this, so do it to the best of your ability. I won't even ask for a 5. You can give as many as you want. Okay, if the Jets fired Aaron Glenn right now, who are your top insert candidates in some order, if you can? This is off the cuff. I'm putting you on the spot here, but I have a follow up for a different part of the conversation. Why maybe it is good news that the Jets did not fire Aaron Glenn. We'll explain that in a second. But who are some of the candidates? Even if you don't want to put them in order, just list a couple of them that are available right now that you'd be like, if Aaron Glenn got fired, here are names that would be on my list that are still available at this current moment in time, of coordinators or veteran coaches, whatever tickles your fancy.
Tickles my fancy. We're gonna go with, I already said Cliff is definitely a name. Brian Flores is somebody who I'm gonna shout to the heavens as long as I have breath. Let me see. Let me think of.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were like writing it down, but I'm trying to think of like other names that have interviewed recently. Give me some. I know you.
Okay.
This person's interviewed.
Yeah, sure.
With,
so there's Clint Kubiak, who's over there in Seattle. He's a popular name.
He is a popular name.
Any of the Sean McVay guys, the Shula, his defensive coordinator.
Oh, true. Yeah. Throw Shula in there.
Again, there's just a bunch of names. Shieldhouse, who's another Ram.
Well, no, Shula would become a Jet though.
Well, yeah, I don't know how any of them. I'm just saying. Well, here's the point. Let me not dress around it. So I'll okay. Whoever the coordinators would have been, your names are there. But I would venture to guess that a lot of them, with all due respect, are somewhat uninspiring. Outside of Kubiak, Kubiak's probably exciting. They're in the Super Bowl, so I could understand how Jet fans would have been sold on that. And an offensive coach, we've only had one of those in 26 years, so I imagine that would all be copacetic. But here's why it may work out that Wudi had conviction. They stick with AG, and outside of a surprise, but I mean, we're getting surprised every day, so shit, I don't know. I guess AG could get fired tomorrow, but I'd be surprised. So Woody's going to see this thing out this season with AG, and let's say it's a disaster. Everyone assumes it's going to be. At least 2 coaches right now off the top of my head that are going to be in theory available are Sean McDermott and Mike Tomlin. Both of those individuals have decided to take this year off by all the current reporting. So if the Jets job was open, they couldn't get either of those guys. So they'd hire someone else. Put whoever Shula. I'm trying to do someone not as sexy, like Matt Nagy. Okay, Matt Nagy? What if he's the guy for the Jets? And what? So AG gets fired, one and done. You hire, let's just say Nagy is a random example. You're not going to one and done him no matter what this season ends up being. So that means next year you're out of the Tomlin sweepstakes. You're out of the McDermott sweepstakes and any other coach, because coaches are going to rise just like the draft. There's going to be names that we're like, whoa, that's the sexy new thing, whoever that person is. The Jets would be out of all those guys if they fired AG this year, anywhere in the last month, whether it's right now or before. They'd be out on all those guys because there's no way they'd be back in the cycle again a year from now and go 2 straight one and done. That seems incredibly unlikely to me. So maybe there's a net positive here that if AG turns it around, that's great for Jet fans. If he doesn't, there's Sean McDermott and Mike Tomlin waiting at the end of the rainbow, both respectable coaches.
That's pretty funny. Obviously, if they had listened to my idea of firing Aaron Glenn months ago, they could have had a much larger pool, arguably the deepest pool of coaches we've seen, which includes those guys that you just named. But, obviously the Harbaughs and the Stefanskis and all these people that already have jobs now because they waited so long. That's the only reason why the name isn't as sexy, because all the sexy names are gone because we've wasted time. We're wasting so much time with this.
But who did you want? So, like
But,
the coaches. What about the coaches that were hired? Right. So those are some that are not available that could have been available if the Jets fired Aaron Glenn as soon as the season was over. Okay, Robert Saleh. He wasn't coming back. Does Mike McCarthy rev your engine? You a Mike McCarthy guy?
Yeah, we've already talked. So you weren't listening for the last month of time?
I've been listening, but I'm just saying that, like, of these fired coaches,
John Harbaugh is at the top of the list. John Harbaugh,
of course he is. He's at the top of my list. Like, but come on.
What do you mean? But come on, what are you talking about?
The Giants were a better job than the Jets.
Give these people
Do you
money.
Disagree?
What
was the Giants' job better than the Jets?
That's a subjective question.
Well, I'm asking your opinion. What is it?
I mean, if that's what you're looking for, like some people, yeah, that's
some people. What are you dancing around? It's great to know you can do the tango. I see it at the.
I'm not dancing around. What are you talking about? Some people would prefer. No, here's the question.
Job better than the Jets?
And I'm saying first that, and do you know what the word subjective means?
Hubbida. What is your opinion? What is your answer? I'm not asking you. Hey, I'd like to poll 100 Americans, and here's what they said. I'm asking you, James Wudi, Giants Jets job. Do you believe? I understand what subjective means. I'm asking for your opinion. That's your opinion, is it? Do you believe that the Jets job this offseason was better than the Giants? Yes,
I would
or
prefer.
no?
I would prefer the Capitol. I personally.
Okay.
And that's why I've been so confused, because you guys keep acting like the Jets job is like the bottom of the barrel. I'm like, you get a chance to do so many things that almost no other job gives you the freedom to do.
I'm not pretending it's the Browns. I'm not pretending that. But for John Harbaugh, we're not competing with the Browns. If you want John Harbaugh, who was perceived the best candidate on the market, you're competing with the best of the market.
Pretty much anybody. My point is that every single person that was hired is at least 55 times better of a coach than Aaron Glenn.
Every coach? Come on, man.
Every coach.
Robert,
what do you mean? Come on. Did you see last season? Like, that's what I'm not understanding. That's what I'm saying. So one of the worst seasons we've ever seen, worse than Gerard Mayo. And I don't know if we ever get a Gerard Mayo sample size larger than that. Worse than Mayo.
So you say Robert Saleh is better than
Mayo? Yes, that's not even a question.
Oh,
what? That's literally not. There's
what about all of his flaws that we saw for 4 years here? He was this perfect coach. Come on, man. Come on.
What do you come on?
You're just saying every coach was 55 times better. Where's the hyperbole here? That
there's no hyperbole. He literally was one of the worst coaches in the history of the NFL. He broke so many records that people do not want to break because he was terrible. He did not win more games than Nathaniel Hackett. Nathaniel Hackett didn't even make it the whole year. Hackett still won more games than Aaron Glenn.
The Jets were openly tanking. Come on.
This whole defense of AG, it makes no sense to me. I don't understand what he has done for your family or whatever, where you guys feel the obligation to act like it wasn't absolute just garbage. It was garbage. He had a roster, right? All the people that say, "Oh, you didn't," he had healthy players and was 0-7. 0-7. Okay, he gutted his own roster. Okay, now that's an excuse that you guys want to hide behind. The man was terrible.
Your hypocrisy is hilarious. That during the season, the Jet fans, you got to tank. It's over. 0-7. You got to lose as many games as you can. And AG's like, you know what? I like the cut of your jib. Let's trade our players.
I was saying that?
You weren't. You were saying that the Jets, when they were 0-7, you were hoping that they would go 10-7. That's what you thought was going to happen.
I didn't say that's what I thought. I definitely didn't say they were going to tank.
Jet fans wanted okay. When the Jets were 0-7, did Jet fans want them to tank?
A lot of them did, yeah.
Of course, because no team in NFL history has ever started a season 0-7 and then turned it around and went to the playoffs. So The worst place you can be is purgatory. You either want to make the playoffs and have a chance at a Super Bowl, or you want the number one pick. Being in the middle sucks. Having the 15th overall pick is terrible. So Jet fans, the majority of them, wanted the team to lose. They begged, please tank right, lose. And AG's like, great. He attempts to lose by trading his best players, injuries and everything. And now everyone goes around, wow, we only have 3 wins. That's worse than heck. And that's worse than this. But all those same fans were begging for losses. You can't have it both ways. It's one or the other.
I've never in my life been like, yo, we're 0-7. We need to. I never said that. You can go to any tape from any week.
The fact of the matter is that there is a hypocrisy here that Wudi, we have done a lot of shows together, a lot of game day shows where we're talking about our predictions for said games and what's going to happen and what we prognosticate and what we hope to happen and what happened versus what the fans wanted. The fans apparently wanted the Jets to lose every game by 1 point. I've heard that 1,000 times from fans. I want to competitively lose, have the great pick, but I want to feel great about AG. That's not how the world works. You don't get to pick how you lose. You either win or you lose. It's black and white. It's a results-oriented business.
So
and the Jets
this whole defense is that AG, he listened to the fans. He's a man of the people who listen to the fans, and he started tanking. He didn't even tank right. We don't have a QB. We don't have Fernando Mendoza. So that's the thing. He changed his plan, which is literally the dumbest thing that I ever heard in my life, by the way. That's some Brick Johnson shit. Talking about, the fans, they said this. So
you don't think he pivoted?
To the fans. And then now he couldn't even tank right. He couldn't. So good job tanking, AG. Good job tanking, Arvell Reese, let's go. We tanking for a linebacker. That's nice. Get out of here. Like, literally, he
pivoted. He changed in the middle. He had a plan. He goes into the season. They're losing. He's like, oh, shit. We are not going to be able to do this. Our best effort is trading away our players and getting as many picks as possible so we can spin this thing around. That's the best. Again, I don't want to make this a Rodgers thing, but the other path, the fork in the road for the Jets this offseason was the path that just happened, which sucked, 3-14, or keeping Aaron Rodgers, which means you wouldn't have traded Sauce, you wouldn't have traded Quinnen, and you would have won a handful more games, but not make the playoffs, and the Jets would be stuck with a 42-year-old quarterback and these players that would not have returned the same trade value. If we traded Sauce and Quinnen right now, we would not have gotten the haul that we got at the deadline. That was a decisive decision to give us a chance to turn this ship around. The Jets have the assets that you just championed of how we could lure a top head coach here of 5 first-round picks and all this cap space. Again, this is the hypocrisy thing I was just talking about. You're just praising the situation the Jets have. We're not the worst job. We would have been great with all these different assets we have, but the only reason we had those assets was because of the decisions that were just made in season.
This is a sad life, man. A sad life. Giving this much energy to defend somebody who clearly worse than Nathaniel Hackett and Gerard Mayo, and we still acting like we got Bill Parcells on like holding the clipboard. It's a sad life. But I guess I'll pass it to you because I talked about Frank Reich. I'm not sure if you talked about Frank Reich, but who's going to replace Tanner?
It's a good question. First off, I want to make sure I don't mess the super chat here. DNY for life. Let's get your super chat in. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Devin, aka DNY for life. Hold on to the rope, BG. AG doing it his way. If that doesn't work, at least he did it his way. Respect. I would have liked to keep our OC. Go Jets. Again, let me just say this real quick on Tanner. Folks, our offense sucked last year. Why is there so much caping for Tanner Engstrand? As if, like, there's so many people that have to defend him and say, man, sorry, Tanner, these poor Jets, blah, 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 blah. Tanner didn't do a good enough job. We can make excuses for him and say his quarterback sucked and Garrett got hurt and all this stuff. He didn't do a good enough job. If he did, he would still have a job here. The Jets, I imagine the Jets want to keep an offensive coordinator for longer than 2 seasons. I'm sure that's what they want to do. They want someone good enough that they would keep giving a guy a job. The defenses of Tanner Engstrand in the streets are bizarre, bonkers. He wasn't good enough. Now, it doesn't look good on AG. He's switching out 2 of his 3 coordinators. That obviously is true. But the crazy defense of like Tanner Engstrand, as if his team wasn't bottom 5 in scoring, that his team was in bottom 5 in yards in every statistical category, that he had the worst passing offense in NFL history. I don't understand how these things are happening. But to the respect thing, and I think what he's indicating is something I discussed in the YouTube short previously, like who's going to replace these guys. The part of your comment, DNY for life, is more defense. There is a chance that AG decides to call plays. Part of that could be because he can't find someone capable of calling plays. So that's to his situation potentially. We'll see who he ultimately hires. But he may call his own number because he has no choice. Now, regardless of the way you get to a destination, you get to the destination. So if AG decides to call plays, I would respect it, because if he's going to get fired after this year and I'm AG, do I want to hire another Steve Wilkes, whoever the hell that is? He calls plays. He does a shitty job. At the end of the year, sorry, AG, you're the head coach. You're fired. Or would I want to step up? I grab the baseball bat. I go to the plate and say, you know what? I'm going to call my defense. And if it sucks, so be it. It's my defense. I'm no one to blame but myself. If it works out, I get a ton of credit. So that's more of the defensive thing. So, but wonderful DIY for life. Thank you. Wudi obviously respects everything that you've said here. Yeah, replacements, offensive coordinator. In terms of Frank Reich, he's a guy, and I've said this a few times, he's forgotten more football than most of us will ever know. For folks that aren't old enough, he played in the league forever as a backup quarterback. And when you're a backup quarterback, you're a quasi-coach already. You're always constantly preparing for the game. You're scout teaming, and there's all kinds of stuff that go into it. That he was a player coach for his career, and then he actually got into coaching like back in like 2004. So he's been coaching forever. He has a Super Bowl ring. He actually has a few Super Bowl rings on his finger, but he has 1 Super Bowl ring on his finger for being an offensive coordinator of the Eagles. And people have tried to take down his responsibilities for that Super Bowl. Oh, he didn't call plays and this and that. I'll just tell you this. He was the offensive coordinator, and the quarterbacks played phenomenal that season. Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate. Nick Foles played terrific in the playoffs. So I think Frank deserves a lot of credit for that. So, yeah, Frank's the guy, a former AG teammate. That's a great card to pull if you're trying to find guys to hire. Go to people you know. He didn't know Steve Wilkes, and that was terrible. So go to guys you know that you feel comfortable with. And when you have shitty situations like this, sometimes those guys can look past it. So, yeah, Frank Reich is a notable option. I'll be curious where he goes beyond Frank. I think that's the only interview I've heard so far. Does he go veteran and go with a guy that's done it forever? And it gives that person a chance to a Wink Martindale, that version where maybe they're not in the NFL right now, or maybe they're on the fringes of the NFL, and AG gives them a chance to get back in there. Or do you just go super young? You throw the keys to not really a 16-year-old, but you throw the keys to the kid, say, hey, you want to be an offensive coordinator for the first time in your life? You seem like you've been around a lot of smart people. Let's go with you, kid, whoever that kid is out there in the universe. I think those are the 2 paths for AG.
I thought I added it. I was gonna add this little graphic, exhibit.
Graphic. Okay.
Exhibit B.
Okay.
To the well, it's not a graphic, I guess it's a quote from everybody's favorite guy, Connor Hughes.
Sure. Okay. 1 second. By the way, DNY for life are up to 27 raffle tickets. I'll update that in a second. Let's go to graphics. I love graphics. Sure. Let me take this off the screen for you. Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just because you guys just keep thinking that Bill Parcells is like in that little small man's body, and I'm not seeing where you have seen it. Even like trying to go back to his previous stop, which you guys love to keep bringing up in Detroit. Are those numbers proud numbers to have? Right? Is this an elite defensive coordinator in any sense of the word? If you think it is, then please let me know your address. I can send you a dictionary to look up the word elite. I mean, when I say we are screwed, because somebody said in there like, "Oh, I'm saying it as fact." I mean, is there somehow a possibility that this team is not terrible? I guess every blind squirrel, they say, can find somebody's nuts or something like that. But all signs point toward this team being like unwatchable, like literally like unwatchable. Like the defensive side, unless they get winked, but whatever games are being played. Offensive side, I do think it matters when a play caller or when an offensive coordinator is not the play caller. Boy Green, you glossed over that fact, but to name a few that have been hired that don't call plays, Nathaniel Hackett, Eric Bieniemy, Matt Nagy. None of those guys really experienced success when they left that nest and they had to go back to that nest. Eric Bieniemy literally just went back to the Chiefs last week. Like I said, in Carolina, he didn't really do that well, Frank Reich. I'm not really too high on him as an OC. I think it's a little too much for his for where he's at in life right now. So I think offensively, it's not looking good. Defensively, it's not looking good. Quarterback wise, and I know we're gonna be talking about positions one at a time. It is not looking good. Yeah. We talking about Geno and Tua. Mm-hmm. It's not looking good. So I just wanted to let y'all know that it's not me. Like it's not me. Like if you just use rational thought and didn't just say, "Oh, it's gonna work out," or just nonsensical, faith things, you would be seeing what I'm seeing. And this was the same thing last year. Boy, Green. It's so funny how this happens every year. Okay. Every year. Wudi, you don't know what you're talking about. I got this one dude in the comments that wants me to name every single number in the history of the Jets roster. Like this.
Well, here's the question. Let's get, speaking of this quiz game.
Wow.
Wudi, who was number 57 for the Jets this year? Jets Johnny asked.
It wasn't CJ.
It was not. Yeah.
Was it Kingsley Jonathan?
He did at one point wear that number. That is correct, and he was the most recent person to wear that number. So I will give you, ding! I'll give you credit for that one. Syracuse, former Syracuse player. So salute. Yeah, he was the most recent player to wear that number. So yes, bonus points to House Wudi. Yes.
Thank you. So I got people, doing all this nonsense, right? That's nonsense. What does that have to do with anything that we're talking about? But he's focused. He's literally spending money on that, wasting time.
Thank you.
Wasting. Yeah.
I appreciate it. I don't know.
But wasting money, wasting time, talking about that instead of acknowledging the fact that his team is trash. No different from last year when y'all were doing the same thing. And then, at the tailgate, I got, people be like, "Yo, my bad." Well, I look forward to that for this year's tailgate as well.
So, one name you mentioned in there that could make a lot of sense, and we'll see if he would want this job. Matt Nagy. Now, I don't know how that's going to inspire confidence in the crowd, but Andy Reid revealed at his end-of-season press conference that Matt Nagy informed Andy Reid, as his contract was set to expire after the season, that he wanted a chance to, quote-unquote, run his own show. Of course, in Chiefs land, Andy Reid calls the plays. So Matt Nagy could be an option for the Jets because he thought he was going to get the Titans head coaching job. That obviously didn't happen. So if he really wants to call his own plays, well, that the last time I checked, that job is available for the New York Jets. So Matt Nagy could be a guy. He's a veteran name out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure he would take this job. This is somebody who was looking at head coaching jobs this whole time.
Sure.
And there are still offensive coordinator jobs out there. This has got to be the worst one because your QB.
No.
Yeah,
Cleveland?
definitely.
Cleveland?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Give me Shedeur over any option that the Jets have. What do you mean?
What about the rest of the? There's the offense is more than just a quarterback. And by the way, the quarterback. Oh yeah, Pro Bowl or Shedeur Sanders. My apologies. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Shedeur, sure, is he better than anything the Jets have a quarterback? Yes, but that's not saying. That's saying more about the Jets than it is about Shedeur.
I mean, it's a better off. Like they have better pieces. Yes, it is. Yo, what are you talking
pieces? About? The Jets' offensive line: Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. Cleveland is better than that.
Breece Hall's under. They resigned.
He is under contract right now. He can't sign anywhere else. He's on the team. But if we're trying to nitpick about your boy Breece Hall, which is the last jersey you have left in that closet behind you, maybe you got a Shedeur one in there. Congratulations. The Cleveland Browns' offensive coordinator job is much worse than the Jets.
I would respectfully disagree. And like you're in a, like the defense, right, is a good unit, right? You're going to get the ball in advantageous places. And again, you have someone like Harold Fannin Jr., who, could be a top 5 tight end in this league. Like you have someone with sky high potential like that. You have quarterbacks in the room. Quinshon Judkins looked amazing his rookie year. Whereas the Jets, it's all question marks. Like you don't know if you have a job long term. Your defense, you have no idea how it's going to be. Most likely it's going to be terrible. Garrett is nice, and the offensive line is nice.
Well, again, Anchorman, agree to disagree on certain points as we're talking about this here on the show. Wow, this is we have 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe no matter where you're watching, whether on my side or Wudi's side or just a depressed Jet fan side. We are here for all. This is a church that welcomes all. We have pews available, so please come on in, take a seat. Yeah, there you go. Jonathan Gannon, thankfully not coming here. This is where we're at. That's where we're at, Wudi. Is there anything else you want to explore here on this program?
Not right now. Okay. I just know that there would probably be no war or crime in this world if people just looked at each other the way that some of y'all Jets fans look at Aaron Glenn. Like, I just don't understand what you guys are seeing in this bum. It's just so crazy to me.
Well, but one piece is this. I think that no matter whether you were in the upside down, you were in the abyss, you were in the normal world, wherever you happen to reside.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is AG isn't going anywhere, at least for this season. So sure, you could continue to feel like shit. Man, this fucking AG guy blows. I hate this guy. Well, if he's going to be here, you could continue to share that energy, or you could try to go, well, all right, well, he's going to be here, I guess. So let's hope for the best. Let's do this. So that sort of permeates as we're getting ready for an off season of free agency, senior bowls this week, drafts coming up, and that he gets the right guys. I would assume that's part of if there's an AG truther wing of fans, I think he's our guy. Defend the green and white. Like hellfire is raining from inside the building of us and outside the building with people. Like we got to rally around our guy.
Okay, well, y'all definitely rallying. So great job there, Tanner. I don't even have to say anything because he's probably gonna end up in Detroit or Chicago, and be like my guy Michael LaFleur. So he's in the best situation out of all of us. He has escaped hell, and he will be succeeding in the NFL as early as this season. So congratulations, actually, is in order for my guy Tanner Engstrand, or maybe your guy. Y'all met in person.
Hey, what do I do with this picture now, by the way? Lou B just texted me. Let me see. Let me pull it up real quick. I don't know how many times we're ever going to get a chance to use this again. So, let me throw this up. This is from training camp. Again, it was very nice. A shout out to Lou B, Super Jets fan. He said, "Hey, Paul, come on down." And I'm like, man, I don't know. It's like a 5-hour drive, and it was late at night. And I'm like, I'd love to do it because it'd be super cool. I got my family, and my fiance was like, "I'm packing up the kids. We're going." I'm like, man, that's so cool. So she made the sacrifice so we could go to this thing. And Luby brings me to the back. So right behind me, over my head, there is Alan Lazard, Rudy favorite. I said sup to Alan Lazard when I passed him. Nice guy. And then it was Tanner sitting here, and I was just saying hey to Tanner, and then Lou B's like, "Oh, this is my guy, Boy Green," and I'm like, "Oh my God, he is just put it all out there." Boy Green Daily, that's your show, and Tanner said it. "Oh, Boy Green Daily," and I was like, "What is going on right now? This is the Jets offensive coordinator for Pete's sake." And Lou B's like, "Let's get a picture," and then here you go. Here is history. So. That's currently on a lot of my banners, like my YouTube banner, my Twitter banner. I leave it up in solidarity for Engstrand. Do I have to not show this picture ever again? What's sort of the story here? What do we do with this?
Well, I mean, like I said, he's gonna bounce back rather quickly. I think he's gonna be a big name in this league. So I think it'll be cool. You're gonna be like, yo. I was with him when he spent that 1 year in hell, and now he on the other side, and hopefully we will be on the other side as well because it will be 2027, and we will have a head coach. But
hey, can you answer this question, Woody? Because you would know. You've met me. Gilbert Gonzalez says, "Is he tall or am I short?"
Oh, respectfully, I'm gonna have to say somebody is short. They don't call him man green.
That sounds like a disease. So it's probably great they don't. Quite frankly, so
I guess it does a little bit, but yeah. This is a tad, just a little short, Okay.
Yes, I've been told I have the troll body going on here. So thank you to everyone who's pointed that out. Yes, so salute to Tanner wherever he may end up. He is as Woody said, his shackles are free, and he can go to a new team and continue his magical journey. Well, Woody, what a show! I mean, breaking news show. We had a different topic planned. I've shifted that topic temporarily to Thursday. We'll see if more breaking news comes. It seemed like the Jets were close to a defensive coordinator hire, and then today they announced a new interview. So maybe they're reopening the search. So I guess you just don't know. So I have no idea if we'll have any updates on Thursday. If not, I'm excited for our positional breakdown. Woody had a lot of notes and quotes ready to go, but we'll get to that show eventually. There's no question about it.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely looking forward to dissecting this roster with you. I know there's some people out there that, think we have the pits, but I think you would be surprised with the talent that is already in the room.
All right, Woody, give us a plug. It's right there on the screen. Take Flight Talk, TFT. We got 500 people in the room. Give them a shout out.
Absolutely. Come on down. Here's some real talk. We're not out here sugarcoating nothing. All right. It is exactly what it is, how it is on Take Flight Talk, which pretty much is me, reacting in real time when things happen. I did not have a Tanner Engstrand reaction because it happened 50 minutes before the show. So I said, all right, let's just get this show popping, which is what we did. But there will be one later. And we got the flagship show, which a couple of you guys have already mentioned tuning into. That's with Abby, who's been covering the Jets for over a decade, and Michael K., active college football player who sees the game in a way that I cannot relate at this time. He got those X's and O's popping. So 3 great perspectives coming together. Take Flight Talk. Holler at your people.
There you go. People, thank you so much for joining us here on the program. We very much appreciate it. And folks, we're going to be back here on Thursday. I'll be back on tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily. We're going to have some Senior Bowl guests joining us later in the week live from Mobile. Should be plenty of meat on that bone, that's for sure. And we'll keep you abreast on the latest with this DC search and now an OC search. Thank you, AG, for your commitment to Boy Green Meets Wudi of giving us content. That should be an issue for the rest of the offseason. So, AG, God bless. Thank you. And we'll do this again soon. I see Ricky New York Live is here in the chat, and he says, tune in at 8 o'clock. He says, I've got a lot to say. So, all right, Ricky New York Live at 8 o'clock. Guys, make sure you don't miss it. Shout out to Ricky. There's his account right there as well. So, positive vibes apparently coming. Ricky New York Live. Again, go check out his YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care.